CPU and RAM. Basically, this is a CPU processor and this is a RAM. CPU and RAM work together to form the brain of your computer. GPU speed in measured in gigahertz. GIZ number of billions of CPU cycle per second. CPU retrieve, decode and execute information that return result to RAM if necessary. CPU components. Control unit directs what happen in the CPU and the rest of your computer. Arithmetic unit perform arithmetic comparison and logic operation. CPU cache, CPU memory, where instructions wait until they are needed. CPU clock beats to keep information and instruction and information moving in synchronized fashion. System bus electrical pathway that move information between motherboard component, especially between CPU and RAM at work. This is a graphical representation of CPU and RAM at work. CPU retrieve the control unit sends to RAM for the instruction and information if needed. Decode CPU gets the information instruction out of cache and examine it to see what to do. Execute does what the instructions say to do. Store send the result of processing to the stored in the RAM if necessary. Notebook CPU and RAM. Mobile CPU type of CPU that change speed and therefore power consumption in response to fluctuation in use. RAM for notebook comes in smaller modules than RAM for desktop. Connection and ports. This is a graphical representation of connection and port, USB ports and other ports. Ports and connections. Place on your system and unit, monitor or keyboard through which information and instruction flow to and from computer. Connector, something like a cable, can also be wireless. Port and connectors. Some ports with port works with plug and play and hot swap ports and devices. Plug and play operating system feature that find and install the driver of the for the device. Hot swap operating system failure features that allow you to plug or unplug a device while the computer is running. Okay. Ports, USB ports and fiber ports of PS2 ports and parallel ports. Parallel ports is its parallel large flat parallel connection found on picture printers just like this. You can see this in picture. Let me zoom it. Now it's easy to see. Common ports and connection. These are the common serial port, Ethernet port, parallel port, firewire port, USB port. These are common ports. Wireless connection. Infrared or IR or IDA uses a red light to send and receive information. Bluetooth transmits information as radio wave for a distance of 30 feet. Wi-Fi transmits information as radio wave for a distance of up to several miles. Expansion card, slot and bus. Okay, this is a graphical representation of a CPU chip. Expansion card, slot and bus. Expansion card, circuit board that you insert in the expansion slot and connects to a peripheral device. Expansion slot, long skinny socket on the motherboard for expansion card. Expansion bus pathway along with information moved between devices and the CPU. Expansion for notebook, PC card, PC card slot. PC card is basically expansion card for a notebook. PC card slot is opening on side or for front of notebook into which you plug a PC card. PC card for notebook. This is a PC card for notebook. I think you can use it. Can you answer this question? Now you are able to answer this question. This clarifying IT and its two basic categories. If you don't find the topic in this video, then you have to watch the previous videos that I have uploaded. So after that you have it make easy to answer these questions. These are further two more questions, and you can also Google it, but you have to tell me that you know or not. Thanks for watching.